Hi everyone, new tutorial today. I will show you how I play the latest Cannibal Corpse tune Inhumane Harvest. If you haven't seen my cover of the song, you can check it by clicking in the corner of the screen or in the description. I will not proceed like my previous tutorial and explain note by note, but I will play the parts really slow with the tab on screen, and after each part I will explain what I do in a general way, and I tell you if there are tricks or tips to play those parts easier. Obviously, no live footages are available right now because of the pandemic. Some tabs are on the internet, so I took a look. It was great overall, but I was disagreeing with some parts, so I trusted my ear, especially for the solos that I almost completely changed. On my tab, you only have the one guitar, the parts that I play, but for each riff I indicate the left hand fingering and the pick stroke. So once again, it's really helpful for the solo especially. This tab that I wrote is available on my Instagram, or you can send me an email and I will provide it in PDF or guitar profile, as you wish. And obviously you got it on screen while I play the different examples. The tuning is A sharp standard or B flat standard, so it's 3.5 step below E standard. The intro riff. Here I'll be honest, it's not really academic, but I don't really pay attention to how many notes I play. I just tremolo pick and make sure I am on time on each power chords. For the last 4 notes, as you can see, I'm using outside picking. You are free to inside pick those notes, but in this case I recommend you to do the same for the next lick as well, so it will be easier for your muscle memory. So for the bridge riff, first off, for the lowest note, I choose to downpick those notes. You can alternate pick these notes, but I think it's better to downstroke them to keep the riff more punchy. Otherwise, nothing too hard here. I always try to use one finger per fret if I can. You can see it on my Hammer Smash Face cover and tutorial. For some riff, I always prefer to use one finger per fret. So why not here? Because the same pattern repeats itself 3 frets lower. In the first position, the one finger per fret is easy and natural. But not on the second position, which is more comfortable to play for me with the 3 first finger. So instead of having my brain and muscle to remember 2 different chunks, I now only have to remember one chunk because it's the same fingering for the 2 position. I use outside picking here because it felt natural, but as always, you can do inside picking if you are more comfortable with it. The verse riff First difficulty is doing the gallop in time. I don't know if it's a good thing to do, but there's 6 notes before the gallop chunk. So I just count in my head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gallop, and with repetition it becomes more instinctive. Second difficulty, changing power chords position at speed, especially after the hammered power chord. Bad news, no trick here, just start slow. If you have seen some of my covers, you may have noticed that I prefer to play power chords using my index and pinky. So I think my hand is more relaxed this way. If you don't do like this, you can try, if you do your power chords like this, try like this, and see if it's better for you. After that, no difficulties if you are used to galloping riffs. Here and for the chorus riff I use inside picking. It feels better here, maybe because there's only 2 notes to inside pick. And I just think it's easier to use third and second finger on 7, 8, 6. Because after, when you have to play the fifth fret, your index will be free. Sorry. It's already over the 5th fret. If you play it with your 2 first finger, like here, you will have to move to the 5th fret. For the chorus riff, nothing difficult. For the last measure, I thought I was using alternate picking, but I was preparing the tutorial and rewatching my right hand in slow motion, and I noticed that I was economy picking this part. So you got the pick strokes that I use in the tab, and just choose what you prefer. If you prefer to do like me with economy picking, or you can alternate pick those notes. Okay, now the breakdown riff. It's not a difficult riff, you just have to get used to play octave chord. When you play a note and it's octave, and to slice them, but it's not really difficult. And if you are able to play everything before, you won't have any difficulty to play this part. Maybe the only trick is just to remember it. Now, small question for you. Do you find useful the left-hand finger numbers on my tab? Because it's really time-consuming for me to put them in the tabs, and I'm not sure that it adds value to the tutorial, because you can see me play the parts in video and slow for you. So, should I keep putting them in my tab or not? If you could answer in the comments, that would be nice. And before we hit the solo, please consider to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get a notification. And if this tutorial helped you, you can leave a like, and that would be very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. Now let's get to the solo. The first solo is a bit tricky, but it's less difficult than it sounds. There is a wah pedal in the original song, but I don't have one. You can use it if you do have one. For the first fast lick, if you are not familiar with alternate picking, you can switch with legato or isolate notes of the lick to make a loop and practice it to build up your alternate picking skills. I recommend you to practice with a metronome. You will build up speed way faster. After that, there's a measure played with a Floyd Rose. This measure is played with a Floyd Rose, but if you don't have one like me on my Les Paul, just do a small vibrato while you pick the notes and it will do the trick just fine. And for the second fast lick, no special tips, it's a legato lick with string skipping. Start slow and focus on the beat to have each upstroke on time. Second solo, it's way easier than the first solo. It's almost entirely alternate picking, but much slower. If you manage to play the first one, the second won't make any problem. So yeah, you should not have problems playing that. So in conclusion, I've now explained all the riffs involved in this song. It's a fun song to play. Some parts are trickier than others, but nothing impossible, so stay focused on your goal. If you have any question about it, or if you have spotted some mistakes in my tabs or in my playing, tell me in the comment section. I answer everyone. If this tutorial has been somewhat helpful, once again, you can subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, like the video, and I will see you in the next cover or tutorial. Bye!